Welcome to the Year of the Movie podcast, the podcast where we talk about movies from the year of the movie 2023. We started this podcast because 2023 was a weird and goofy year for movies. You had great pieces of cinema, and you had Oppenheimer. I'm just kidding. You had great pieces of cinema, and then you also had some weird ones like 80 for Brady, Strays, 65,
Cocaine Bear,
etc. If you like this podcast, please consider supporting us on Patreon, reviewing and rating on any podcast platforms that you might be listening on, and following us on Instagram, and giving us a subscribe on YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Add it to the list.
So, what movie are we talking about today?
All of them.
Well...
And none of them. So,
about 45 of them.
45 of them. So, we are not covering a movie today because this is our 1 year of the movie podcast.
Year 1, Transformers. Rise of the Beast.
Yeah. We did it. We made it. We got so many more to cover, but today is just gonna kind of be a look at our standings, our all-time standings, some epic highs and lows, and
to tell you that you're not watching enough. Let's get those views up.
Sure. And what we're looking forward to, what makes a 2023 movie, all that good stuff. So, I think we'll just start with our standings.
Okay.
And if anything comes to mind while we're going through this list.
So we have to go through 45 movies that we've already watched. Actually, would it be 47 because the Marvel... 46 because the Marvel one, we did 2 and 1?
I can look up the correct number if...
All right.
You give me one moment.
Yeah, so we watched a certain amount of movies, and we'll get that to you right in one second.
Hold on, this spreadsheet has so many tabs.
And
here we go.
And like recently,
44.
Oh, 44. No, really? Oh, because we did one where we did one similar to this. Oh, the Oscars episode.
And then we did the bottle episode. I forget what number that was, but we did that.
Okay. That makes sense.
Broken it out into each individual movie. So we've covered 44.
We've only talked about 44 movies from the year of the movie, and there are hundreds of movies from the year of the movie 2023.
This is vaguely related in my head. I've been playing a lot of Stardew, and I've gotten to a point where you can see how much total progress that you've made so that you can reach perfection.
Yeah.
And I did a bunch of stuff, and then I went and I checked, and I moved up 1 percentage point from 45 to 46%. I am in year 4.
That's pretty good.
It feels like that. We're in year 1.
We're in year 1.
So, let's start with our zeros. We've had 2 of them.
And these scores are our episode average.
Yes.
So, our scores combined.
Yeah, these are our average scores, and then I thought about it for a second, and I was like, do I want to make a new average where it's just our scores versus if it's our scores plus Bryce plus a guest? And then I thought, if anyone complains about that, then my God, they've been watching so many episodes, and that's a win.
We have a real fan.
Yeah. So I didn't do that.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with it, leave a comment and we'll respond. So our 2 zeros, in no particular order,
just alphabetical order,
are Robots and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah. Now, Robots, you might be thinking, that was a 2005 movie with Ewan McGregor.
And to that I say, God, I wish it was.
This was the Jack Whitehall, Shailene Woodley Robots, and it was bad.
It was almost something, and then it was absolutely
garbage.
Nothing.
Which is a real bummer, because I like Jack Whitehall.
Yeah. Could have been something.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I hate to say it, I don't think it ever had a chance. movies.
No.
Although I've heard the second one is,
At least watchable.
yeah, it's better and like much higher Rotten Tomatoes score. I forget exactly what it's at right now,
I think
but
it was like 60 something, which
yeah,
like isn't great, but compared to
from zero to
zero,
anything,
yeah.
that's progress. So maybe someday I'll give it a shot, but
Yeah.
today's not that day. We've got 1.5.
Yeah, and you know, I want you to remember this, Mr. Bill Burr,
It's
that you
old
aren't
dad.
zero.
Bill Burr is in a category of his own. In Old Dads, it is our only average 0.5
Yeah.
score, where one of us gave it a 0, one of us gave it a 1.
Yeah.
I'm sure,
I gave it a 1.
yeah.
It would be weird, I think, if it
If
was...
I gave it a 1,
Yeah.
if I was like, you know what? He did something. He spoke to me. Which he did. He had dialogue in that movie.
Yeah. That was a mostly terrible movie. I think there were
Yeah.
just, if I remember, there were just a few things where I was like, I did actually laugh, and there were like 2 good scenes,
Hmm.
but the rest of it, I'm like, this is not.
The rest of it did not
Yeah.
tip the scales for me to give it an anything.
Yeah. And really, all that movie gave us was I was able to call Bill Burr a hipster and post it online, and then people were
We're
people.
confused. Yeah. We got a couple of 1s
We have a lot of ones.
in no particular order.
Alphabetical order.
Yep. We got 65.
Yep.
My favorite letter, 6. Inside.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Bo Burnham special.
Nope, that was the Willem
The
Dafoe,
Willem Dafoe special.
special.
Willem Dafoe one-man show.
Yep.
Chupa has a 1.
Classic.
Haunted Mansion has a 1.
Oof.
Paint has a 1.
Yep.
Strays has a 1. Inspector's Son.
Who forgot about Inspector's Son? I
No
know I
one.
didn't.
It has a 1. Freelance has
Yeah.
a 1. And Ghosted. A lot of single word titles that I
And
think.
Haunted Mansion.
And Inspector's Son. So I think
Yeah.
we talked about this with, maybe it was Freelance or Ghosted, where we were kind of hitting that trend, or that whatever rhythm of like covering a lot of straight to streaming movies, where there's a trend of you just pick a 1-word title and then you have a loose premise, and that's a movie. And John
Yeah.
Cena will probably be in it. No disrespect, Mr. Cena.
Freelance is an interesting one to have a 1, though, because Sean was there for Freelance,
Yeah.
which means Sean also gave it a 1.
Yeah.
Which means that's bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's a rough movie. It's not the worst of the worst, like our zeros, but
Sean is a generous judge.
he is.
Yep. Inspector Sun sure was a movie.
Yeah.
Even for a kid's movie, which like you kind of got to give it a weighted score in that way.
I think that one is the only one of these movies that I fell asleep during.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Also Haunted Mansion, I guess that could be a kid's movie, but it was really tried to be marketed for fans of the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird one.
That director, I saw his name recently he's doing something that I was like, oh, good for you.
I like seeing our list grow with the scores, because I feel like if you just watch an episode and we give it a rating, then it's just like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But seeing it compared,
Seeing it in relation to other movies.
yeah.
I kind of do that when we judge things. Honestly, the one that I use as like a rule of thumb is We Have a Ghost.
Because it's a solid movie.
Because it's a solid movie and I didn't expect to give it a 3. And it's
Yeah.
like, I think, is it better? Like, so sometimes if I'm not sure what to give a movie, if it's like in between that 2 to 3 range, I'm like, is it better than We Have a Ghost?
So I think what you're saying is that the movie of the year of the movie.
We'll come to that part later, I think. But moving up our scores, we've got our only 1.33. And it's Relax, I'm from the Future.
Yeah, and that's another one that we watched with Sean.
So that was the rated
Yeah.
average. And it's all, yeah, that was when I got in my head a little bit. I was like, well, sometimes there are 3 of us, and then the average is different. But yeah, 1.33 for Relaxing from the Future because Sean gave it a 2.
Yeah. Because Reese Darby is in it.
Yeah. And I was hoping this movie would be more just because it's got a lot going for it on paper in terms of like our particular interests. It's an indie movie, it's a sci-fi, it's got a New Zealander that we like. And then seeing it all come together, it was like, oh dang.
It was just such a big letdown.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a sci-fi, like a bad sci-fi comedy where I'm like, you can watch it and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad, like all the way through.
If you don't, so like when we watch, because we watch a lot of like Star Trek, we've been going through Deep Space Nine for a while. Yeah. We watch a lot of stuff. I'm always curious at like what stage in the writing process do you then add on the jargon for everything?
Yeah.
And like, do you just leave a blank in the script of like science happens here and that explains stuff, and then you go back with your lore book later and explain what specific science? I don't know. But if you don't have that for a sci-fi, then you're relying a lot on the like personal relationships to push everything forward, and the like reality dialogue, and then just every once in a while you have a pew pew gun or something that like sells everything else. And this movie just didn't have the good dialogue that made sense, or the character motivations that made sense to carry everything else through.
Yeah.
Dang.
Moving on. But not to 2.
No, 1.6. Another movie with Sean. The Retirement Plan.
Yeah.
That was the Nicolas Cage, one of his many movies of 2023.
He had so many.
What a working man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was truly, I enjoyed it more than Relaxing from the Future. And
yeah, because of Ron Perlman.
And of every other movie that we've talked about so far. Yeah, what a stacked cast.
Yeah.
You've got Nicolas Cage as an old man, Ron Perlman as Bobo. And Ernie Hudson as the friend. Yeah. It's great. Bobo deserves better.
Honestly, that is one where I'm like, if there are other movies you want to watch, probably watch those ones. Mm-hmm. But if you want Ron Perlman in a fun role, go ahead and watch Retirement Plan.
Yeah.
Because Bobo, like, I do legitimately think that Bobo is one of my favorite movie characters of all time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Moving on
to our twos.
We've got a couple. Cocaine Bear.
Yep.
Somebody I used to know.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about that one in a while.
That was like
early on.
Maybe like episode 4 or something. It was real early on.
Yeah.
I would say that was one of our first disappointments. Knock at the Cabin. That's a 2. Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain. That's a 2. Quiz Lady, a 2. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, a 2.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes sense to have all of these on the same level. Like, yeah, the genres are different, but like,
yeah,
you probably know what you're gonna get if you put on a Transformers movie, and you probably know what you're gonna get if you put on a movie called Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Like, you know what's gonna happen for the next 90 plus minutes. Yep.
Now we go up
to 2.33.
Yep, which means Sean was here.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Renfield.
So we've got some 2.5s. We had a decent amount of 2.5s. Renfield with 2.5. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, 2.5. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, Self-Reliance, Poor Things, Super Mario Bros., and The Creator. So Renfield was like, that was pretty enjoyable. There were a couple of things that I was like, meh. Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, I think it was mostly, like, I thought it was good, like, technically good and interesting and a lot of stuff. You were disappointed with the lore just because you've been a Turtle fan for a while.
Yeah, but I agree that it was made really well. And, like, as a movie, it's a solid movie. I just don't think it was turtle enough.
Did you like, because you watched all of it, did you like the show more than the movie?
Yeah, the show is better because they do, like, expand on the turtles more and who they are, but not enough.
Yet? Probably because they want multiple seasons.
There's going to be another season, at least.
I do think they have so many characters that they introduced in that movie that now doing a TV show makes
Yes,
sense
the
because
TV
you
show
can focus on all of them.
helps a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie, it was just like, this is the angry one, and this is the funny one, and this is the smart one.
Right.
Without any like
Yeah.
like showing that that is true. I'll say, I do think Raphael in the show is probably the best portrayed.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Like more three-dimensional?
yeah, and then like one episode, Michelangelo felt right to me. Like one, because in the show they follow the turtles individually.
Yeah.
So like one of Michelangelo's individual episodes, I was like, that feels like Michelangelo. But another one, I thought he was kind of too mean. A lot of his jokes were making fun of another character.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
was just like, that doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. Self-reliance was, again, almost...
Is that the Jake Johnson
That's
one?
the Jake Johnson
Okay,
one.
truly?
Yeah. That one was one that was, like, almost really good, strong premise.
That one
good
disappointed
performances.
me.
It was hard to make a good ending for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Poor Things, we just could not get behind Baby Brain. There's a lot of really good technical
I really
stuff.
could not get behind Baby.
Yeah, Poor Things and the creator are on the same level for me, where it's like, that's really technically impressive. Give it a different plot.
Yeah, I agree.
We've got a 2.67, which again means Sean
Sean
was
was-
with here. With next goal wins.
I think the 2.67 is probably a 2.66, but we rounded instead
Rounded
of
up, yeah.
cutting it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next goal wins. Taika Waititi.
Mm-hmm. Enjoyable stuff in it. We had, I think, mixed opinions across the board.
Yeah.
Sean, very positive. You, finding more positives. And me, it didn't really land for me. So, and then the threes.
Our threes. A few.
We have a ghost.
Yeah.
D3. D&D Honor Among Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
A Haunting in Venice.
Oh, yeah, that one surprised me.
Écule Poirot.
That one surprised
It
me.
is definitely the strongest of the series.
Yeah.
Death on the Nile is the worst. Somewhere in Queens.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of forgot about that one a little bit.
Yeah.
Think about it every once in a while, but I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
It was really just a couple of technical stuff that stuck out to us of like could have given it another polish, but
Yeah.
it was a strong first movie from Ray Romano. The Marvels, 3. We might be alone in that opinion.
Yeah, people didn't like that one.
No,
But it was good. Like
it was fine.
it was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Again, if you put on a Marvel movie, you pretty much know what you're going to get into.
yeah.
And I think it was at that level. Tetris, we gave it a 3.
Mhm.
Jules, that's the little alien man.
There's an alien in my backyard and it crashed into my azaleas.
Still got it. Still a good impression.
It's just Ben Kingsley American. Like his American accent I love so much.
We've got a couple of 3.5s.
Ooh.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Mhm.
They cloned Tyrone. Gave it a 3.5.
Huh?
I gave it a 4 and you gave it a 3.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did mostly do that because I didn't think it was quite a 4,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also probably not actually a 3.
I think sometimes we give scores, we're like, well, if it averages out
Yeah.
to a half, then that's fine. Yeah. Oppenheimer, we gave it a 3.5. In Polite Society, it's a 3.5.
Yeah.
All of those I feel pretty strong about. Of those 4, then They Clone Tyrone and Polite Society are my top picks of those. And then we've given some perfect 4s.
Only 4
Only 4 4s.
currently. There is another one that we haven't talked about yet. We keep talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Someday. So Asteroid City is a 4.
The Wes Anderson film.
Mm-hmm. Bottoms.
Yep.
Is a good one.
Yep.
The Holdovers.
Yep.
Yep. And then Barbie.
Yep. Of those four, I think The Holdovers is the best.
Yeah.
Like, love Bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
The other two are also great movies. I think The Holdovers is the closest to a perfect movie. Like,
I think all
just
of these
in general, like recently, but
all of these you can have on. They're all very rewatchable.
yeah,
I'd say of them, maybe Wes Anderson's is least rewatchable. Like, there's still stuff that you will notice, but like everything is so polished in it that there's
Yeah.
like
I
there
also
are
feel
only
like
so many details that you can find again once you go through it. The ending is fantastic. Of like
yeah,
just sitting and talking with other Sean about that movie. Then like if you it's a good. I think it's a very good movie if you like remember or re-experience how good it is when just talking to someone about it.
yeah.
So that's a good one.
I feel like that one is one where you do have to like pay attention
Yeah.
because it does go in and out of how it's telling the story
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And so
Yeah. You have to keep track of where you
Yeah.
are. It's not a good background movie. Bottoms, very rewatchable.
there's so much in that. Yeah,
There's so many details, so many jokes that they don't even call attention to. It's just like if you notice it, this is funny.
yeah,
And if you don't, then you can still get exactly what's going on
yeah.
and find something else that's funny at the exact same time.
It's just like they put so much thought into it,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that as artists and filmmakers. We know that people probably won't see it, but we
Mm-hmm.
still do stuff in the background.
It's like this one's just for us.
Yeah, like the commercial that I'm currently working on.
Mm-hmm.
There is a fish tank with a fake fish in it that I don't think we are doing a close up on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like in the background of a wide. But the director found, like he discovered by accidentally knocking into it, that the little fish inside can wobble
Mm-hmm.
a little. And so he said to the art department to remind him that before they record, to hit the tank to make it wobble so that the fish moves. And it's just like no one in the commercial, like no one watching this commercial is ever going to see that. But it's just
Yeah.
like we still care. And I
Mhm.
like seeing that in filmmakers. And like
Yeah.
Bottoms, I think, is like just a great example of
Mhm.
it.
I think Barbie is also a good example of like putting thought into everything, and like there are a bunch of details, but it does fall a little bit more onto the Wes Anderson side for me, just because like it is also very polished,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing, but it's just I'm sure we talked about it in the episode, but like the overall message that it was sending about like feminism and like how the world works, it was just like
Yeah.
if you've experienced being a woman just a little bit, then you're just like, yeah. And I liked Bottoms more of like it went farther with that, with all that detail,
Yeah.
and it was funny, and that's what a combo. And Holdovers is great. It's a good if you pay attention to it, great.
It's just
I
a
think it's-
beautiful film.
I think it'd be a good one to like have on in like most instances of
Yeah.
like if you pay attention to it and it's rewatchable in that way, or like a background movie, or in the nicest way possible to fall asleep to. Like I think you could just
Well,
have
like,
it on.
I've said this about a few movies. Like We Have a Ghost is one where I'm like, if it came out 40 years ago, it would be a classic.
Mhm.
Like, this is one where if it came out 40 years ago, like Holdovers would be a staple Christmas movie. Where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
my family watches The Christmas Story. My family watches Elf. My family watches The Holdovers.
Yeah.
Because it's just,
Mm-hmm.
oof.
It's very good.
Yep.
So those are our standings as they are right now.
Yep.
Any highs and lows that we haven't pointed out so far? We've talked a little bit about like some of our big disappointments.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any, or like any big
Paint.
surprises. Yeah.
Paint was a low.
Yeah.
And Inside. Like, Inside and Paint, I think, were...
Inside was one where like I saw the trailers for early on in 2023, and I was like, oh, there are capital A art house movies coming
Yeah.
out this year that like maybe this really is the year of the movie and cinema. And then we watched it and was like, I don't care
Yeah.
about whatever message they're trying to send, and that's not good. So, yeah, that was definitely a surprise. Paint was a surprise. I maybe 65 of just like, this was the first one that we started with, and we said it happened. Like that wasn't the tone that I thought we would set the podcast off with.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be good.
I didn't expect it to be good. I didn't expect it to be a 1. I thought maybe it would be a 2 of like, but that dinosaur chase or something like that. But there really wasn't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think I was surprised that D&D was as good as it was.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it is, I don't know.
It's easy to get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like they got it pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Knock at the Cabin, I wanted just a little bit more from, but that's just how M. Night Shyamalan is sometimes. And I do want to see Trap.
Apparently, Trap is really good.
I'm excited.
And I'm curious to see how it's really good.
Yeah. Is it good? Yeah. That could mean so many things. Yeah. Yeah. Do we have a personal top 5? We did this when we did our other
whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Holdovers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 69. God, it's tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Holdovers, We Have a Ghost. They clone Tyrone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 3. Probably Guardians. God, I don't know. The 5th one's kind of tricky.
Yeah. We don't have to do 5. If it's 4, then that works too.
I feel like those 4, I'm definitely like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then another one, it's gets harder to pick.
Yeah. I think, just scrolling from the top down, then Polite Society, They Clone Tyrone, Bottoms. I skipped that.
Yep.
Definitely had another one somewhere in there.
Strays.
Maybe I stick with. No, I'll do Holdovers too. That fits. And we'll leave the 5th slot open for future movies. That's what we'll say.
There's just so, like, Bottoms was great. Yes. I also just really enjoyed Tetris.
Yeah.
Jules, just simply the
Jules,
alien in my
I was surprised by.
Then I'm just like,
Yeah. Jules I was surprised by, and I thought that it would, like... There's some movies, I feel like, especially if you have an older lead who's allowed to be old in your movie, then, like, it kind of easily falls into the pitfalls of, like, just going through the motions of a plot and not really giving it an actual character, and it's more just like, the joke is, it's an old person. But, yeah, it was very sweet, and it handled things well, and also an alien was there. And that's an example of a good sci-fi movie, that there's not sci-fi jargon, but it relies on the relationships well. Yeah. Any other standout characters besides Bobo? Because he's really the highlight of the year.
I mean, I don't know if there's any characters as fun as Bobo.
Mm-hmm.
The characters in Holdovers are great.
Mm-hmm.
That's one where I think, like, the actors just killed it.
Yeah.
Not that Ron Perlman didn't. And I think Ron Perlman is a big reason why Bobo is interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not like he gave an Oscar-worthy performance.
You don't think Ron Perlman's heart was in it? Into Bobo?
No, because I'm pretty sure
he did it to hang out with his friend.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And that's very understandable.
And that comes across in his acting when he's reading his lines. Says,
really?
Come on, kid. But it's still it's Ron Perlman, so that makes Bobo
so that's
awesome.
Good enough.
I mean, like, they clone Tyrone. I honestly, like, I think Bobo is the only character that was so good where we're like, we remember the name.
Yeah, that's
Bobo.
true. Yeah.
Like I'm just robots. Winnie the Pooh, old dad, 65. Inside Chupa.
Chupa from Chupa?
Or Christian Slater from Chupa.
Christian Slater from Chupa.
Haunted Mansion, Pate, Strays, Inspector Sun, Freelance, Ghosted, Relaxing from the Future is just Reese Darby,
Yeah.
Retirement Plan, Bobo, Cocaine Bear,
The bear.
Cocaine Bear,
Or Ray Liotta.
or Ray Liotta, Somebody I Used to Know, Knock at the Cabin, Please Don't Destroy, Conan O'Brien.
I do like the characters in Please Don't Destroy, but it really is just like those guys as a version of themselves.
Yeah.
So it's not really that specific movie that sells it in the way that Bobo is unique.
Transformers Rise of the Beasts, I will say I do like Mirage, but I don't know if I just remember Mirage's name
Because it's Pete Davidson?
because it's Pete Davidson and we watched it recently.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Toby Jones is in the movie.
Yep,
Renfield is Renfield or Dracula with Nicolas Cage.
that's true.
Ninja Turtles. Ant-Man. Self-Reliance. None of the characters in that. Well. What is his name? I don't remember the character's name.
Yeah.
So that is like it goes to show.
His friend
But
that
his
he hires?
friend that he hires in that movie
Yes.
is great.
I do think, because
But that's just that.
as we've been going through the list, I have been thinking like there is a difference between like a standout character and a standout performance. I think
Yeah.
that guy's performance is very good.
Yes.
Again, that's very similar to like what I've seen that guy do
Yeah.
in other things.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that like Bobo is a standout from Ron Perlman's career, but he's a standout in the Retirement Plan.
Yeah. Poor Things. Her name is Bella, right?
Bella Baxter.
Yes.
Mhm.
I remember that,
Yeah.
but I don't like Baby Brain.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Bros. The Creator.
Mario.
Next Goal Wins. We Have a Ghost. Again,
David Harbour. but I
David
don't-
Harbour. Ernest?
Ernie, I think, but that's not his actual name. Spoilers. But
Yeah.
yeah.
That is good.
Yeah.
And maybe this goes to show that these wouldn't be classics if we can't remember them. But also,
Do you remember all the Ghostbusters names off the top of your head right now? Or do you just think of Bill Murray?
I think of Ernie Hudson. But that is another thing. Like I was gonna say, if I watched Back to the Future once,
Mm-hmm.
would I remember Marty?
Or just that guy in the vest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D&D Honor Among Thieves.
They all have like such D&D names. There's no one who's
Yeah.
just like David.
I mean, I remember Bradley Cooper
Right.
in that film. Haunting in Venice.
Burrow.
But that's not.
Right?
I don't care for his depiction.
No.
Somewhere in Queens. Ray Romano. Marvels, whatever. Tetris is a real story. Jules is another one where I'm like, I do love the character.
Ben Kingsley's character?
Ben Kingsley's character.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel, whatever. They
Yeah.
clone Tyrone. Fantastic characters.
Mm-hmm.
Could not tell you their names.
Yo-Yo.
Yo-Yo, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Yo-Yo is good. Maybe we just need names that are OO.
Yeah. That's true. We got Bobo and Yo-Yo.
Oppenheimer. I can't think of any.
Is there an O-O? Op.
Polite Society, like the main character and the best friends.
Yeah.
Like those are good characters to me.
Don't remember their
I
names.
would not tell you their name.
Yeah.
Asteroid City is just
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum.
A bunch of A-listers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottoms, Holdovers, Barbie. Obviously, you have all the different Barbies.
Yeah.
And Ken.
Yeah. I can name everyone from Barbie. There's Barbie. There's Barbie. There's Barbie.
There's Alan.
There's Alan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think Bobo is the standout
Mm-hmm.
character.
If we're thinking of performances, then I do think the son from Somewhere in Queens did a really good job, especially for this being his first feature.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dylan McKenna. What's his? No, that's someone else.
Were you thinking Declan
I
McKenna?
was. The kid from The Holdovers.
Yes. That's
Uh,
also his
that's
first.
also his, and he did
Great.
a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
What is his name? It's Dominic Sessa.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good performances.
Obviously, Emma Stone in Poor Things, I do agree with that Oscar, even if I
Yes.
don't like the plot of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think Oppenheimer should have won Best Picture. We said that in our Oscars episode.
Yeah.
That to me was a Christopher Nolan. You finally get one
You did it.
after doing
Stop asking.
yeah. But The Holdovers.
Yeah. So we've been talking about 2023 as a unique year for movies, a goofy year for movies, if you will. So what makes a 2023 movie? Because I do think it is a unique time frame or like a unique year for movies for a bunch of reasons. I don't know if there's a specific quality. I wrote down some ideas about like what goes into it, but it's more of like reasons that it went into that year. And
Mm-hmm.
the one that I can think of is like you kind of yes and a movie premise of like, yeah, let's give this bear cocaine. Like, and you greenlit that movie. Elizabeth Banks said, or like agreed to do it because she was in quarantine and she was like, this is how I feel. So let's make it.
Yeah.
So that was a thing that I thought of. I also thought like it will stay a pretty unique year for movies because it's in a like production bubble where strikes happened. So there's going to be a bit of a movie gap, like with stuff with that same vibe that also got a goofy greenlit during quarantine.
Yeah.
It might not feel like that necessarily because a lot of movies that originally slated to release in 2023 have been pushed back because of the strikes, and
Yeah,
now they're releasing in 2024.
I do think 2024 has a little bit of the 2023 feel because of that.
2023 Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's big movies like Dune 2, Challengers, Bike Riders, which I don't think has like the same vibe as 2023, but those and
Craven.
then Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire
Yeah,
is
yeah.
supposed to come out. And then Lord of the Rings: The War of the Rohirrim, that comes out in like December. Like it was pushed way back.
We don't even have a trailer.
Yeah.
It's August.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Problemista is
That did get moved to 2024.
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That one looked like a real 2023.
Yeah, which it's out now, so we could watch it. And then there's also like some like there are definitely going to be ripples from the strikes that we'll feel for a little while. Because there are also films that were already slated for 2024, and then they were pushed back as well to accommodate new promotion schedules.
Yeah.
So, for example, A Quiet Place Day 1 was supposed to release like in early 2024, and then it got pushed back a couple of months because actors' promotional schedules changed because of other projects that they were on. And when the strikes happened, people realized promoting your movie helps.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure that they can do that.
We can still talk about Problemista because it premiered at South by in 2023.
Excellent. So we will.
Yeah.
So I think they're like, these are, a lot of 2023 movies are good, but it definitely feels different from like cinema. There are obviously exceptions to that, but I don't know, like what goes into a 2023 movie? If we have a Ghost is the 2023 movie, if there are others.
To me, like the year of it does like if we were saying the movie of the year of the movie, is that the best or is it?
It's the most 2023. So what are the characteristics of a 2023 movie?
Then it's probably not that.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a worse one. I mean,
I think it's too tame to be the most.
I think Cocaine Bear is probably right now.
I agree.
The movie of the year of the movie. It's 2023.
Yeah, I would say 2023 or 65 because that was the one that we did see the trailer for and say something is happening and we should start a podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels too low of a score to be like,
It's the one that started it all, but it's also a 1.
yeah.
So it's not even a so bad it's good. Cocaine Bear tries, and the
Yeah.
parts that don't land, it's still an enjoyable watch the entire time.
Yeah.
So I think it is Cocaine Bear.
It's Cocaine Bear for now. I mean, we might get another one that's like, oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I think maybe the Greenlight origin story helps it a lot. The fact that like the bear looks good
Yeah.
helps, and like the premise is just weird enough that it carries it through the whole time. But then there's also like surprising good stuff with like the jokes of like or just the way that scenes ended, of just like if it felt like it was in the middle of a conversation where a guy's like, do you have a dog?
Yeah.
Does it know how to play fetch? Next scene.
Yeah.
Yep. I think everything else is too good. So something, I guess a 2023 movie is something that's weird, some level of quality, and it commits to the bit.
Yeah.
That's what we look for. So what other movies are we looking forward to? Are there other 2023 movies that we haven't covered yet?
There's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, I am surprised when like I go through our list. I'm like, oh, we've actually watched that and that and that. But there's so many.
I feel like we've made a decent chunk, and then when I do research on movies, and then it does like I just do Google of movie title, and then it does like that similar interest thing on the side, and I will still find other movies that aren't on our list. So we will never not be doing this podcast.
Yeah.
There will be many years of the year of the movie.
I'm looking forward to Dream Scenario.
Yes. That feels like a 2023 movie of seems like it's quality and
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. We still haven't seen Beau's Afraid. I feel like that was another one that was pretty big on like at least in people that we know. That was one that people were excited about. The Chicken Run Dawn of the Nugget?
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't seen that yet. I thought I would see that day of it coming out because I love Chicken Run, and we just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Well, it's a Netflix one.
That's true.
We don't currently have Netflix.
No. We will get there.
Yep.
Dumb Money is another like has some headlines. There's truly so many. Harold and the Purple Crayon, I think.
That's not 2023 anymore.
No,
But
it was on the
looking
list.
forward to it.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of... Oh, Leave the World Behind. I did hear stuff when that first came out, and it seems like a pretty divisive movie, and I want to know what I think about it.
1993 was another good year for movies.
Yes.
So is it just every 30 years?
Maybe.
Because 93 is Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Gettysburg. I've not seen that one.
Mm-hmm.
Indecent Proposal.
Mm.
Tombstone. Falling Down, that Michael Douglas movie.
Oh, yeah.
Schindler's List. Philadelphia.
Mm.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Mm-hmm.
The Fugitive, the Harrison Ford movie.
Oh, yeah.
Secret Guardian. Rookie of the Year. Leprechaun.
Ooh.
Or there was something, Searching for Bobby Fischer. Rudy. Striking Distance. Where was it? What was it? Ooh, the Pauly Shore Son-in-Law movie. That's a 2023 style movie, I feel like. Wallace and Gromit, The Wrong Trousers.
Nice. Oh,
Free Willy.
Rebel Moon.
Oh,
I do want to see that.
yeah, I want to watch it because I hear it's terrible.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, there's plenty for us to cover. Maybe someday we'll do a spin-off and it's the other year of the movie and we just talk about movies from 1993.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Ooh, so close to your favorite movie.
Mark Hamill was in a movie called Time Runner. And
Sure.
It looks very Blade Runner-esque.
Excellent.
Robin Hood Men in Tights. Airborne.
Wow.
Last Action Hero, Dennis the Menace. Wow, 1993 was a real
A good year.
The Three Musketeers. Call of the Wild. The Sandlot.
I was going to ask if there are
Really?
any non-2023 movies that we were excited about, but I think it's just everything from 1993.
Cyborg Cop.
It's different from RoboCop?
Uh-huh. Other movies that I'm looking forward to that are coming out.
Mm-hmm. Or are out.
The new SNL movie I want to see.
Yeah,
That
that's
looks
true.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been watching trailers, but I can't remember. Oh, the Tuesday? I don't know if that one's out yet. The
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's out yet.
I don't feel like it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm. I definitely want to see Longlegs at some point. I kind of don't want to see it in theaters just because I would like to have the option to pause.
That's fair.
Yeah,
What is even in theaters right now? We saw Deadpool Wolverine.
we did.
So like, whatever.
What else is there?
What else is there outside of Marvel? Oh, Despicable Me 4. Alien Romulus.
Oh yeah, I do want to see that, but I gotta make my way through the rest of the series first.
Oh, Borderlands. Now,
Oh.
Borderlands feels like a 2023 movie because that looks awful and the reviews are real bad.
Yeah.
A Blake Lively movie called It Ends With Us.
Yeah.
Have you seen the press for that?
I've seen.
Ooh, her interviews are rough.
Oh, I haven't seen the interviews. I've heard some things and some people hiring some crisis PR people.
Yeah. Harold and the Purple Crayon is currently in theaters. Ryan's World, the movie.
Oh no, that
Yeah.
poor kid.
Yeah.
Let him grow up.
Seriously. Twisters.
Oh yeah, that feels like a 2023
does.
movie.
My Penguin Friend. That feels like a 2023 movie
That
because
sounds like a just good day.
it's Jean Reno, the hitman in that Natalie Portman is a child French film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Despicable Me 4. Rob Peace. I don't really know what that one. Inside Out 2 is in theater.
Oh yeah.
Longlegs, Cuckoo.
Oh, that one does look good.
Let's see what's coming soon. Beetlejuice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never saw the original. Which feels like I should have.
The Crow. The new Crow.
Oh God.
It looks so bad.
Yeah, that's also a 2023 movie.
Oh, I want to see the other movie that guy was in, The Skarsgård, where he's mute.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Sing Sing, that's the one that I want to see.
yeah.
If Sing Sing doesn't just blow me out of the water, then
I feel like Coleman Domingo needs to get a nomination just
Yeah.
from looking at the trailer of that. Should be a good one.
The Channing Tatum horror film,
Oh yeah,
Blink Twice.
that also seems interesting.
Yep. Looks like Rear Window is going to be in theaters for the 70th anniversary.
Ooh.
A Jason Schwartzman film called Between the Temples.
Mm-hmm. I saw
know
the
what that
trailer for that one. He reconnects with his old music teacher, and they become buds.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we're looking forward to.
Everything. All of it.
Yep.
All at once. Speaking of movies that we're going to cover, after this we are recording our episode for If You Are the Last. It's another 2023 movie. So if you want to watch that before a review comes out,
You should.
you should.
It is real underrated.
Yeah. It's a Peacock original.
Yep. But I think that's going to do it for today's episode. We're not going to talk about something that we've watched recently because we haven't watched enough stuff.
We watched.
So we'll talk about it in our next episode.
We saw Wolverine.
We watched Deadpool Wolverine. But you can watch our trailer for our short film, Hello, My Name is Friend Man.
For our award-winning short film.
It won at Comic-Con. No big deal. Whatever.
They give us a real trophy.
If you want to leave questions and comments, we'll respond on the VHS podcast. But for now, we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.